Warning, this episode contains bad Christmas jokes, poorly planned episode structure, inebriated hosts, and for once is missing Teen Inks. Also, there will be spoilers for the first 2 books of the Inherent Cycle by Christopher Paolini. Listen at your own risk.
Is this a podcast, or is this just fantasy? We're just 2 nerds and we love our fantasy. So join us if you want to nerd out. Time to start the podcast and see. Anyway, here's the show.
Hello, Raiders. I'm Dane Patterson, the host who loves Christmas. I love it. But I would for sure kill that elf on the shelf, as he is the bane of my existence, and I hate hiding that motherfucker every single night.
Yes, and I'm Jackie Lanier, and is this a podcast, or is this just fantasy? A podcast where we might be a little tipsy, but that never stopped anyone from sounding well-spoken, did it? That's not like a historical problem with drinking.
I'm fine. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, there is a link in the show notes. It's finally a link. For a while it wasn't. And if you can or just don't want to, we totally understand, and just ask that you please rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, and as always, visit us at isthisjustfantasypod.com for more seasonal cheer. There is more on the way, but also for year-round unhingedness. That's kind of our thing. And you can follow us on social media. We are on TikTok at isthisjustfantasypod and on Instagram at justfantasypod. So what we were hoping to do is put together just a little episode, a little something more fun than usual for the holidays.
Yeah.
And talk about the world of Eragon through the lens of Christmas.
Yeah, we're just gonna have
That's the whole plan.
We're just gonna hang out, talk about Christmas stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's pretty loose.
Yes, insofar as there was a plan. That's the plan.
That is it.
We wanted to do a little Q&A. I thought of some questions
Okay.
to ask you. Hopefully you two have thought of some questions, because the thing I love to do most is answer questions on the spot and have it recorded for posterity.
I think it's great.
I think it's going to go great.
Answer questions. So drink lots of alcohol.
Yes.
Get on a recorded device.
Yes.
And then answer questions.
Yeah, nothing better. First question.
Yeah.
What are you drinking? Start.
Yeah, no, I'm drinking hot chocolate with
Okay.
some peppermint schnapps.
Oh, hell yeah.
And just
a classic.
Yeah, in an unresponsible amount of whipped cream. It's an irresponsible amount.
I mean, is it a Christmas hot chocolate, a boozy Christmas hot chocolate, if you don't have too much whipped cream? Nah. Is that the only benefit of being an adult, really, is to overuse? Yeah. Like have ice cream for breakfast sometimes, have too much whipped cream on your hot chocolate.
It's the best part of being an adult, I think.
I would agree. Strong agree.
Well, obviously, I feel that way.
If you watch these on YouTube, you'll understand why we say things like this.
What are you drinking?
Oh, I am having a classic hot toddy, Earl Grey tea, some whipped. I am notably in your beautiful home state of Colorado. I came here for Christmas cheer.
It was fun.
So I'm drinking whipped local Colorado honey. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what you have in the pantry. It is so good.
Yeah.
And a little lemon juice.
Are you buzzing?
Oh, and bourbon, obviously.
Nice.
Sorry. Important ingredient in a hot toddy. Yeah, it is delicious. Very happy about this.
Amazing. And we have treats, cakes and cookies and
already forgot
candies.
about that.
Yeah.
In my head, that's just set dressing.
Oh, is it?
Yes, I forgot
we
that we
can't
have
eat them.
Oh, wow. Well.
For this first question.
Okay.
What do you think Christmas is like in Alagaësia? And we have to break this down a little bit. Like, I'm going to say the elves. What are the elves doing for Christmas in Alagaësia?
Well, they're in a forest. I have to imagine.
Good start.
Yes, you're so welcome. This is the hard-hitting commentary you come to this podcast
So the
for.
elves have pointed ears.
Yes. I don't know if you know this about elves. The forest, I guess I always imagined as like rainforest climate. I'm starting with weather, like all polite white people.
Yeah, perfect.
We must first discuss the weather.
Perfect.
Right? Do you feel like it's
a
rainforest here? Do you think their forest gets cold?
Well, I think it gets cold because Christopher said that the Manoa tree is like a giant pine tree, remember?
Oh.
So it's like...
No, I don't. I really picture it differently.
Yeah, it's essentially
I picture it like one of those gigantic fig trees that got like way too tall. But
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful image. It's wrong.
Wow.
Your imagination is wrong.
Shit. Okay. Well, that helps. No, now I feel oriented.
Okay.
So it's snow on the ground. This helps because I feel like the elves would sing ice sculptures into existence. Like they really, because they're so arts and craftsy, like their ice sculptures are out of control. Also, because
are they sex ice sculptures?
Yes, I was literally just getting to that because all of their holidays revolve exclusively around sex magic. Because notably, they're atheists, allegedly,
quote unquote.
Yeah, the ice sculptures are super inappropriate.
Yeah,
and
it's like dragons copulating.
Yeah, I think they just like try to ignore that it's a holiday for some reason. Like they don't really address it. They just do a bunch of winter themed shit and like want to pretend like it's not a big deal.
They're like Christmas. What is that?
It seems illogical to have something like a Christmas, but please come into my home for this warm hot chocolate and let me give you a gift.
You know who elves are?
Yes.
Like, I would never tell my son that Santa is real.
Oh,
yeah, those are elves people.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want my kids to believe in this fairy tale. It makes no sense.
Makes no sense. We have dragons, for God's sakes.
True.
Okay, I see that. And then do you think they're white elephant people, elves?
Oh, no.
No.
I don't think.
It's all handcrafted.
Yes,
absolutely.
gifts. I could see a gift exchange, like a Secret Santa situation, because I think it makes sense to me that the elves wouldn't be in favor of you buy everyone you know a gift. They would think that's illogical.
Well, they know everybody.
I must say, I'm kind of with them there. Also, if you're alive for 1,000 years, like you're spending each year for 1,000 years buying somebody Christmas presents. No, you get one name each year.
Challenge accepted.
Yes, you have to handcraft a gift for one person that you draw in the gift exchange each year. But the gift exchange is species wide. So you could truly draw anyone anywhere.
Could you imagine like pulling Queen Islanzadi?
Yes.
Being like,
shit.
Damn it.
The only reason the elves have any census data is to keep up on the gift exchange rolls. The lists.
Well, could you imagine getting someone you just don't know? You're just like, who?
Well, that would be, I think, part of the challenge for the elves because they always need things to be extra. Like they'd have to go and like do their due diligence because it would have to be the most thoughtful gift. I think they'd always be trying to like, because their culture, right, is very on the surface polite, but still waters run deep.
Yes.
Like they have all these weird norms.
They
I feel
have
like
rules.
they always would be trying to outdo each other. Like every gift you made for somebody, you would want that to be the best gift that person ever got.
That's perfect because it's like Christmas is a battle and I will win.
Yes, I definitely know people whose families are like that. So
that sounds lovely.
Yes.
Okay. What about dwarfs?
Oh, Dwarf Christmas is a rip-roaring good time. So Dwarven Christmas, I feel like they would go out of their way just for like the vibes to like cart snow under the mountain. You know what I mean? Like they
Someone
would just
up on the top just like shaking
Hell
it.
yes. Yeah. And they would have some like very intricate and like well thought out machinery to accomplish that because they've been doing it for thousands of years.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They have like a very cool pulley and gigantic, obviously, way too big pulley system to
it's
get.
Too much.
It's way too much.
Yeah.
But to get snow under the mountain for like 2 days, I think. I don't think they have it all season, but I think they have a 2-day like winter wonderland under Trondheim, like Farthendur snow. Do you think it snows in Farthendur? Because
I mean, they make it snow.
open to the.
I don't think it does because it's always white capped in the first book when we get a description of it. So I think it's so high up.
It doesn't. It's
it
not
just
making
doesn't
it down.
like get in there.
It's probably too warm.
How does
inside
that
of the
work?
mountain.
Yeah, the heat coming out of the mountain.
Yes,
is probably.
Yeah,
that's probably
science.
It. That's science. That's we
another thing you come to this podcast for.
Thank you for sticking to our science podcast.
And that was Science Time with Dana Jackie, Dwarven Science.
Okay,
importantly.
no, I actually think oddly enough, like the Santa, the Santa has elves making toys.
Ooh,
and has a large beard. I think would like oddly
the dwarves
would love that. They'd be like, oh yeah.
It is like the whole reason for animosity between the elves and the dwarves in this world.
The origin is Santa.
Yeah, the Santa myth. Okay, I could totally see that. I also feel like.
Could you imagine?
No, the elves would be so pissed. They would never stand for that injustice, even though they are famously handcrafters. They're famous artisans.
They are good artisans.
Yeah, but
it does fit though.
They would hate
just like a drunk
being characterized
Santa.
like that. Yeah. I do feel like the Dwarven like Christmas feast, I feel like their holiday, much like my family holidays, revolve all around the meal, like the gathering. You know, my family's not huge necessarily on like gifts or like set in stone, you're welcome traditions.
Yeah.
But the meal is always really big for us, like wherever we decide, whoever's hosting or like
food.
Yes, whatever day we decide to do the meal on, it like is an important time for us to gather around the table. Like I feel like the dwarves are very much like that.
They've had the best food in the entire series so far. We got that feast in the first book that I was like, well,
it did look really good.
That sounds good. And the second book,
You're
the
really
beginning of the second book.
a good cheese plate from Oramus.
Okay, Oramus is separate.
He doesn't count.
He doesn't. Well, I feel like he's Elf Plus.
He is Elf Plus.
He's like Elf Original / I used to live with humans for thousands of years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I kind of feel like he's like, they don't get it. Yeah. Like I get it. Oramus seems like that kind of a guy.
I could totally see that. Yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah. Okay, what about Urgals? I think Urgals do a great solstice. I feel like they're solstice people.
Oh, yeah.
Because they killed Santa long ago. That's their myth. It's like
again,
Santa tried to break into our
I really think we are uncovering the deep-seated roots of all the racism in Alagaësia, because that is the reason for the animosity between Urgals and dwarves.
We freed the elves.
Yes,
we killed that
Santa.
dwarf. Yeah, it's really why the dwarves and Urgals hate each other so much.
100%.
Yeah, like we don't celebrate that at all.
I could see that. I think I'm with you. I think they do the solstice, and I think like the Urgals took it as an offense to their honor, like the honor of their people, that anyone was celebrating any other holiday. So they had to go kill Santa in order for their holiday to be the best holiday.
Well,
to
it
have
was
holiday supremacy, right?
Yeah, it was just to prove the toughest Urgal. I mean, who better than to kill us? Santa. The most powerful being of all.
Not me. I respect Santa because I want my presents, Dane.
Well, I also think, like, this may sound weird, but I kind of feel, you know, in the Who's and Whoville are all singing at the end of the original Grinch and like, ha, hoo, do, right? You know, that whole thing. I kind of feel.
Even on a holiday special episode, you're singing.
I'm going to get some singing in there. I feel like the Urgals are big singers around, like, outdoors decorations or something.
Okay.
Like there's is it epithet? Is it effigy? Effigy? Effigy?
You think they're burning an effigy?
I think they're burning an effigy
solstice?
on the winter solstice.
Okay.
And like maybe it's a giant Santa. And
it's definitely a giant Santa.
Yeah, and they're all happily singing.
That's a vibe. That's a vibe for sure.
It's the vision I get.
You think Urgal Christmas is like Burning Man?
Yes, I love that. Yes.
Okay.
Lots of
hedonistic.
Yes. Lots of fighting for some reason.
No
in this
economy.
One. There's no economy. Everyone kind of smells a little bit.
They might get trapped in a bunch of mud.
A lot of
Urgals. After a historic rainstorm.
A lot of Urgals being like, I finally know who I am.
I had a completely different thought, but I think I'm just on board with that now. Honestly, lovely. I'm not outdoing that, so I think that is canon now.
Thank you. That's canon.
For
Great.
Urgal holiday.
All right, do you have any questions?
Yes, I would like to know, kind of in the same vein, because I guess all we want to do is incite race wars in Alagaësia.
Maybe we should get away from that.
Yeah.
Actually, first off, Kevin, can you clip that? Let's use that.
No. Drinking was a bad choice. A thing I've never said before.
I love that I did ask you. I was like, do you have a question? I need to drink.
Amazing. Yeah. No, I was thinking, like, of the races, who do you think lays claim to, like, the pinnacle, like, Mariah Carey status Christmas album of Alagaësia? Like, I guess for me, it's between the elves and the dwarves. Ooh. Whose Christmas album do you have on repeat from Halloween to January?
I think it's Galbatorix. I think it's Gal.
You think he's got the voice of an angel?
Here's what I think. I think Galbatorix.
Also, is this just commentary from you about what you think Mariah Carey's like?
No. Don't get mad at me. This is a commentary on Mariah Carey.
We're sorry, Mariah.
No, here's what we think. I'm trying to use the canon. We know that he's erasing in the mid-second book. We learned that Galbatorix is erasing everything.
Yes.
And so I feel like Galbatorix basically took Mariah Carey's album out of production, erased it from the zeitgeist, and then put out Galbatorix Does Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that's some megalomania shit.
And after 3 generations, people are like, what do you mean? Galbatorix Christmas slaps.
An absolute dark horse pick.
Yeah.
Shocking to behold.
Also, would it be weird if he had a voice of an angel?
No, I could see that.
Yeah.
Weirdly, I had no trouble picturing that. He just sings to Shuriken in his free time.
Like a beautiful baritone.
Yes.
I don't want to love. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I could see that. Again, upsetting that
what did you
probably
think?
are right.
What did you think?
I guess I was thinking, for me personally, taste-wise, I would be doing the Dwarves Christmas album. It seems like their Christmas songs would be much more in sync, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays,
Gotcha.
Fun, poppy, ensemble, everybody singing together.
Okay,
but
a choir.
Yes.
Okay.
But upbeat choir, not
Dwarven Gospel Christmas.
Yes.
Oh my
100%.
gosh. Praise Guntera.
Yes. Praise Guntera Christmas, Papa Guntera. Guntera is, right? Santa God?
Yes.
Amazing.
And we know that the Santa is a dwarf.
Yes. Perfect. So that is Dwarven Christmas for me, their Christmas music.
I love it.
I feel like for Mariah, though,
Yeah.
that is a very elven vibe. I stand alone. I have a vocal range nobody can match.
Right.
I work night and day on my craft. I cannot talk to people if I'm not singing. I need my very specific meals and drinks. My contract writer for a performance is pages long. That kind of vibe feels elven to me. And I also think, Mariah's catalog goes much deeper. There's a lot of depth in that set list other than All I Want for Christmas. Yes, Dane. She does beautiful renditions because she has a beautiful, just well-trained voice.
Yes.
So she does beautiful,
Can't she go
slower,
higher than anyone else can go?
Debatable, but yes.
Is that true? Could she sing higher than anyone else?
Mariah Carey? Ariana Grande? Yeah.
Okay,
Ariana's
Ariana Grande. up
there
Okay.
for sure. But
Ariana Grande is definitely an elf.
100%. Yes. So I feel like for a voice like that feels very elven, classically trained. And so Mariah has a lot of those songs that are really the classic traditional Christmas
Gotcha.
songs as well.
Okay.
She leans hard into that.
So you're saying the casual Christmas album you put on is the Dwarven album, but if you want to really be blown away,
yes,
you're listening to Elven
for a Christmas party.
Is it Queen Islanzade? Are you basically just saying Queen Islanzade
Is Mariah Carey? Yeah, why not?
Okay, what character would you give a gift to in Alagaësia, and what would it be?
Okay.
Yeah, you can pick any character.
Yes. I think I'm picking...
And it can't be a helmet for Eragon.
No, I would never. I think I'm going Jode.
Okay.
And I think
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah, kind of. I think I'm gifting him some antiquities, basically.
It belongs in a museum.
But he'll use it, he'll respect it, and he'll use it to serve the good of the people. He needs to do his research. He needs to find the secrets that will help us bring down the evil empire.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be a regular Christmas gift. It would be altruistic for humanity. He has research to do. It could end up serving the good of the world in general.
Would you also give him a build hat and a whip? And a satchel.
Yes. Also,
are you just turning him into Indiana Jones?
Yes. It is one of my boyfriend's all-time favorite jokes because I was inexplicably an anthropology major in college. He's always so did you take Bullwhip 101? leather satchel honors thesis. I was God damn it. So yeah, I think I love Jode for some of those reasons.
Okay. All right. I also think I want to do something for altruistic reasons.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to get a therapist for Arya.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, no, I think she's gone through some traumas and she needs help.
True.
She's gone through some major traumas.
That's true.
And-
I am camp. She definitely has PTSD.
Yes.
And it makes her difficult to
So-
interact with.
So I'm getting her a year of BetterHelp so she can zoom it in while she's working.
Okay.
And then a magic mood ring for Eragon. She'll wear it so he could be like,
Jesus.
She can't, don't approach.
Now's not the time, bud.
I just feel like it'd be better for both of them.
Well, yes. Anything that would help Eragon to not be such a creep towards Arya. He's crushing it in so many ways so often. And this is one way
He's just not.
I worry so much about him. So are you admitting then that if Arya were to work through some of her trauma, she would be one of the biggest assets to the continent and to the rebellion?
Let me be clear.
When you said this is an altruistic gift for society.
Yes. Let me be clear.
Yeah.
Arya is already, without therapy, one of the most important people in this book.
That's true.
If not, quote me on this, get ready to loop it.
Uh-oh.
If not the most important person in the series.
Loop it. Who's that now?
That's
most
never
important?
been my issue with Arya. My issue with Arya is that I guess it is my issue with Arya, is that she is so important. And then we have our main protagonist, and he's like, well, I'd love to be your boyfriend.
Just really trying.
Yeah, which is just weird.
Yeah.
And she's suffering from heavy traumas.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So really, I think I'm really respectful of Arya. I'm trying to give her therapy in this hypothetical.
Really respectful.
The mood ring was a slight.
Please, Dane, what do we have? 15 days till Christmas. 15 days from now, buy somebody a year of therapy and let me know if the reception of that gift is, that was really respectful of him.
Well, I have a good news, bad news. I have another gift for you.
Ooh. Am I about to be so sad? Or in a year, less sad?
Yeah. Who could say?
A beautiful gift. A beautiful sentiment.
Okay, my real gift, though, would be Space Camp for King Oren.
What?
Yeah. He needs to go to Space Camp. I just feel like that guy would love it. Don't you
would
think?
love Space Camp. I feel like also, is this a sign you picture Oren like very similar to my boyfriend Ben?
Yes.
Because we have talked about how funny it would be to send him to Space Camp for a gift. As a
little bit.
33-year-old man, he would be so happy.
He would be so happy. Oren, early book 2, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Kind of mad scientist, affable.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
What creepy gift would Eragon give Arya?
Shit. I feel like, much as it pains me to think about what he would give her, because again, notably, he is not crushing it.
No, he's
in this
doing
arena. I think he would be for sure writing her a poem.
Oh no!
Like we know, right? He's tried flowers. He's tried stunningly, like jarringly photorealistic paintings.
Look at this photograph.
Yes. Like to the point you're very uncomfortable looking at them. But I think like for Christmas, like at a distance, they're not like together or anything. So like for Christmas from like a quote unquote friend, I think he's writing one of his signature.
I really must stay.
Shit. Yes. And I think it's one of those things, the way Ormus was like, it's rough but true. And you're like, no. And I think much like that song, everyone's lives will be worse for having heard this poem.
Like
he
you'll
writes
listen
for
to it.
Arya.
Yeah, you'll listen to it, and for a while, she'll read it, and she'll be like, I guess this is kind of
It'll be like catchy.
Yeah.
But then you'll think about it?
Yeah, she'll be like, this is... I think this is a little
Horrifying.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. I feel scared.
I think the subtext changes depending on how you feel about the situation.
Yes. Oh, I hate that so much.
That just came to me.
What?
That
The
song.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking a song.
Oh.
But I didn't think of that song.
Yes,
Once you were describing your poem, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, 100%. Like kind of a classic, but also, uh-oh.
Also, but like, oopsie, kind of a classic.
You'd hate to see it.
Well, okay, this leads then to who is the best gift giver in Alagaësia so far
Oh.
that we've met.
Okay. I Ooh. I mean, it's got to be Hrothgar, right? There's a chapter in the book. Also, R.I.P.
Our dwarf daddy.
Our dwarven daddy.
Gone too soon.
Maybe he's just top of mind. But like
200 years old, too soon.
Too soon.
Or however old he was.
Way too soon. It's got to be more than 200. He was ancient for a dwarf.
Didn't he know?
Ancient and powerful, a warrior king.
And he was there at the fall of the right. He knew the other. He like met Frail, right? Doesn't he say that?
Ooh, I don't remember that.
I think he says. Maybe I'm making this up. I might be
I have no
it.
idea. Truly, this is why we probably shouldn't drink in podcasts. But
Yeah.
there's only one way to learn, right?
Yeah.
No, I think it's Hrothgar, just solely because based on the text, what I do know about the books, what I can absolutely remember. There's a chapter entitled Hrothgar's Gift, right?
Yes.
Okay, so boom, done.
Done. All right.
Paolini said it.
Paolini
It's written in
says-
stone
All right.
for the
all right.
dwarves.
Those are good. I was going to say Oramus
Oh,
for the poem he made professional for Eragon.
Oh, see, that is some shit you would do.
Yeah.
That is like a gift that is like,
Oh, thank you.
that's up your alley.
Or Saphira for the gift of her presence everywhere she goes.
Yeah, she definitely feels like that. I guess I would say alternatively, like the dragon magic tattoo
Yeah.
twins, just
Yeah.
on the premise that that is the best gift anyone could get.
He got swanned. Do you remember that old reality TV show? Was it called The Swan?
One of the most problematic reality television shows.
Do you remember that show, Kevin? Do you know what The Swan was? The Swan was a reality TV show where they took like normal looking people
Just fine looking people.
and they were like, "Hey,
nice, kind,
what
normal
if we
looking
did
people.
months worth of plastic surgery on you, got you a stylist, and we made you beautiful?"
If time period helps you place it at all, it was on, I'm almost positive, ABC at the same time as like peak extreme home makeover Ty Pennington. Like that was the same era as The Swan. And it was
Wow.
a disaster. It was a very sad show.
I would have loved to be in that pitch meeting.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What is everyone cooking for Christmas dinner? Like, what are the elves cooking for Christmas dinner?
Gosh. Guilt. I don't know. The elves. I don't know. There's probably eggplant. There's a lot of eggplant dishes.
Okay.
I feel like it's hot. They're having a lot of like squash spaghetti.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's very hearty.
Yes.
Lots of nuts are involved. Maple syrup is everywhere.
Okay.
Honey is everywhere.
I guess I picture it, which is crazy because they definitely have an on-screen sit-down big feast.
Yes.
But I picture their holiday, their elven holiday, which is that they don't acknowledge as a holiday.
Yes, it would holiday.
Yes. I don't picture it as a sit-down meal. I picture
okay.
it as like a heavy hors d'oeuvres cocktail party. I think they
yes.
really focus on their craft mixology. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like they have a bunch of
Yes.
bartenders in suspenders.
Oh.
There's so many curled up mustaches.
100%.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
a lot of infusions. I think they're just like the food is there to make sure nobody dies.
Right. It's got too much fennel on it for some reason.
The
Like,
cocktails.
Yes, all of it has fennel on
The cocktails are like savory.
it.
What? Yes, I guess I picture it as like more of a cocktail party
Okay.
situation. So
Yes.
they have a lot of like light bites. It's a lot of like little toasts with different kind of cheese and like a berry reduction. And
Yes.
like I've cooked for parties like that. I like it actually.
Okay.
I'm not like a
Oh, you're totally
snacks
an
are a
elf.
food group for
Oh,
me.
you are 100%. an
I
elf.
love a snack.
You would just blend.
I love a
right in.
graze. I love like
Aren't you a vegan in your free time?
in my free time, yeah. At home where the food is under my control.
Yeah.
Yes, I definitely eat plant-based, but like only because when I'm out in the world, I
Yes.
want to be a mess. I want to have so much cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
So like on Christmas Eve, I'm cooking a prime rib. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Okay, I
that's
get
my
it.
vibe.
Yeah. Okay.
I have no rhyme or reason really.
you've struck balance.
I've tried.
Yeah. all
I've
right.
tried. That's the idea. That's the plan. So
I don't know elves, man. Yeah, you're
think
right.
maybe
It's
you're
probably
right.
tapas or something.
yes, it's a big small plates culture.
Yeah,
the elves.
I really think so.
That feels right. What about the dwarves?
For sure, classic. They're doing ribeye.
Okay.
There's a potato.
You think
There's
it's
some root vegetables.
we had
It's a Feldenas on the table.
yes, I was going to say we stabbed at this conversation briefly in the last couple days.
Yeah.
But do you think the dwarves are doing a prime rib, or do you think they're doing a Christmas goose? And what is the deal with Christmas? Why doesn't anybody do a Christmas goose anymore? It's like you'd read about it in a Dickens novel.
Yeah, we did talk about it, and then we never looked it up.
No, but in America, we do a prime rib. Is that just like Big Beef lobbied us, and now we all cook a prime rib? Or
it's gotta be.
Or does goose taste like shit? I have no idea.
Well, if you know and you're listening and you've made it this far, please email us.
Yes, please let us know.
What happened to the goose?
Yes, I feel like Jerry Seinfeld. What is the deal with Christmas
What's
goose?
the deal? No, I think the dwarfs are classic. It's
I agree
Rudy.
with that.
It's a lot. There's a lot of drinking. It's mostly drinking.
Yes.
They eat heavy so that they can drink all night.
Yes.
Then they eat again.
Yes.
The desserts are also heavy.
It's one of those like dinners early.
Yes.
Dinner's more of a early afternoon supper so that we can have dinner later just out of all the leftovers kind of a vibe.
And we're going to need dinner as leftovers because we're hungover.
Yes.
Tomorrow morning.
Yes. We're making potato pancakes out of those mashed potatoes in the morning.
100%.
Okay. Amazing.
Yes.
What about the Urgals?
Ooh.
What is their solstice meal like? What are they eating in front of the burning effigy, Dane?
I was like, what do they eat in Burning Man? What's going on in Burning Man? It's a lot of barbecue.
Okay.
A lot of like over fire. A lot of stews, probably.
Yes.
Healthy stews.
Yes, because they're so good at making a stew pot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I don't know that for sure, but I think you're right.
Yes. So I think
If
I
you
was
know,
also
you know, listener. If you know, you know.
a bit of an Easter egg. A very unimportant spoiler. I also was thinking, as soon as you said barbecue, I came into this with no ideas. I wrote this question and I only had answers.
That's off the dome.
Yeah, for elves and dwarves. I could agree with you on Urgals because I envision it like, you know, when you do like a buried 3-day whole hog roast.
Yes.
Yes, that.
That's kind of what I'm picturing too.
Yes, 100%.
And then like for the like last minute stuff, it's just like my favorite food in all the world is like Thai street meat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, if you go to Thailand, please eat everything
Street
they sell
meat.
everywhere. It's delicious.
And if anything happens to your digestive system,
their hospital system
healthcare
is
system
actually
is
amazing.
incredible.
There's a long story there. Maybe we'll answer that another time. But I would think like last minute you have those bigger stuff going on.
Yeah.
But last minute you got like meat on a stick. Don't know what it is, but it's delicious.
Okay.
You don't need to know. It's, you know.
I'm thinking also like kebab vegetables, just
kebab
charred,
vegetables.
roasted vegetables,
You've got,
which I love.
Yeah, I think you got like lots of like soups going on, lots of stews.
Strong agree.
Like freshly made bread.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, lots of freshly made breads.
Like a flatbread situation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or even just
absolutely.
like, for whatever reason, I'm also picturing like huge loaves. They're just throwing loaves around.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay.
I love that we're just ignoring the humans of Alagaësia. We're like, who cares?
Well, their food did seem
Lame.
subpar. Also, the only answer really is rutabaga 7 ways. So we don't really need to dig into that. We know how much they love beans and rutabagas. So
It's all lentil based.
yes, I think so. What do you think the dragons are making for holiday feast?
Well, I think back in the day it was definitely dwarf.
Womp. I hate that. Cannot co-sign. You're maybe not wrong. I would like to officially lodge
based on
my
history.
objection.
I don't know. I feel like dragons would be so annoyed with the concept of Christmas. I just feel like they wouldn't even. I think to celebrate Christmas, they're like, what do you mean? Like we give each other gifts and celebrate like the turning of the celebrate me.
Do you think the dragons have any holidays?
No.
I mean, if the Urgals have solstice.
I think no. I think every day is a holiday.
If you're a dragon.
If you are a dragon.
Okay.
I feel like they're one of the people. I think there are people who's just like, what would I celebrate different than yesterday?
Well, Saphira notably got into the elven holidays.
Well, they were
know
about
what?
dragons. The one holiday that they had was celebrating the Dragon Pact with other dragons and then like basically celebrating how they were changed because of dragons.
Okay, so I guess, do you not think the dragons have invented their own holiday about dragons? Like Dragon's Best Dragon Day, and they do it at the end of December?
No, because then they all be murdered because they all fight over it. You know what I mean? I think they all just like, I don't know, today was great because I'm me. Tomorrow will be pretty great because I'm me.
Okay.
It's great to be godlike in this small, puny world that the rest of you live in.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. I just feel like they're not doing it. I mean, but if I
think that's fair.
Yeah.
I
what
think
do you
that's
think?
fair.
What do you think? What if they have to?
I think that they would like recognize the fun in just naming a random day to be like, yeah, we're the fucking best. You know what I mean? And like making, I think for the dragons,
So the dragons are like 4th of July. They don't celebrate
Yes,
Christmas.
Exactly. They're celebrating 4th of July in late December. And I think they're also like finding ways to rope all their riders into it. Like they're making all the small peoples of Alagaësia celebrate their holiday for them. So
you just answered this question then.
Yes.
It's the best meal from every community.
Yes. Every race has to bring.
Made for them. They just wake up and they're like, great.
Has to bring the dragons an offering.
Yes.
100%.
That sounds right.
That tracks. So of all these meals we've talked about, including, you could totally choose rutabagas and beans. I just want you to know.
All right.
But of everything else we've talked about, whose Christmas dinner are you showing up to? Whose late December holiday dinner are you showing up to?
I don't know. I feel like I'd have a really good time at the Urgals.
Okay.
I feel like Burning Man I do here is a pretty good time. And I feel like the music would be hopping.
Okay.
As long as I didn't get into like any fights or something. They seem rowdy.
That seems like it would definitely be on the table.
Yeah.
But
I think I'd risk it.
Okay.
Yeah.
High risk, high reward.
Well, because I just feel like then you'd be like, I want to celebrate Christmas with the Urgals. People be like, what?
Damn.
Wow, that guy's tough.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
High risk, high reward. I think I'm going elves. I love a cocktail party.
Yeah, of course.
I just do.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Yes, love to mix and mingle, keep it moving.
Someone
I don't like
telling
to
you about the infusion.
how they fermented it for 6 months out of the like byproduct of the garnish that they use. Yeah.
It was a bee that they've raised and known since it was a child or something.
So yeah, that's how I picture elven Christmas that they don't acknowledge as a holiday.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I will say, my second is dwarf.
Yes, my second also is dwarf.
Yeah.
So I will meet you there. We will separate 1 year.
1 year we'll do leap years.
Yes.
And then eventually I won't come back to Dwarven because I'll die.
We'll know what happened to you at Urgal Solstice.
Yeah.
100%.
What was one thing in this world that you wish was in the real world? And the Dragon Bond doesn't count because we've talked about this. But like we have it could be any of the magic, it could be any of the things we've seen so far and heard about.
Okay.
What do you wish was real?
I guess when you say the magic, I don't get to just be like, I wish magic was real.
I mean, I guess you could.
Or
this
like
magic system is specific.
A specific spell or...
Yeah. Or like, I guess this is pretty broad now that I'm thinking about it.
Because I think I'm going like, as my Christmas gift, make a reality from Alagaësia. I think I'm going the like soft magic system, the mind magic, the like touching thoughts, consciousness magic.
You want to know what Wally's doing in your apartment. Yeah, that makes sense.
Always. He's such a cute boy, but sometimes he's so bad, and I would love to know why.
Or just soothe him.
Yes. Yeah, it's just like put him and be like, bud, I got you. We're fine.
We're fine.
Nobody is trying to murder us at the door. I swear.
That is the mailman.
Yeah, that is just the Amazon guy. He's here more often than I'm proud to admit. No, not usually, but during the holidays, the Amazon man and Wally really have a built-up vendetta. It's reached a crescendo.
My dog and everybody just a problem.
That's fair. What about you? What do you think if Alagaësia could gift you something from their world into our world?
I think magic would be cool. I kind of think I love all the creatures and like all the creatures, the Feldenas and all that stuff, but also all the like cool landscapes. Like Trondheim is not possible because I don't think we
by the laws of physics.
Yeah, I don't think
can't really do that.
Yeah, I don't think we have mountains that large, like or like the Manoa tree. Isn't possible.
Just these like epic landscapes.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And like all these crazy creatures.
I love that. I cannot believe you snaked me on that answer. I can't believe I did not think about that for even a second.
Well,
because
magic
usually
would have
when
been
we
mine.
read, I'm like so
You do
like
like
kid
the
in a
setting.
candy store. Yeah, I love to read that. I think truly that is one of Christopher Paolini's strengths. I think he's good on a description. I think he so clearly has a love of the natural world. I think that shines through a lot of the time in the writing.
100%.
So he's able to imagine these landscapes, these locales in a way that's so specific, so beautiful sounding. You're like, I want to go there.
Yo, even the eye, right? Is that the whirlpool? The eye? Is that what it's called?
The boar's eye.
The boar's eye.
Yeah.
Even that would be cool if that
yeah.
existed. Just as like there's a place in the ocean, people are like, well, we can't go there.
Yeah. It's just the whirlpool that drains to the bottom of the ocean. You're like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, maybe that wouldn't be cool in actual practice.
Well, no, it would kill people, but it would be cool to see.
I don't want anyone to get hurt, but, you know, I think it'd be cool.
But if the world were like a little more dangerous.
Well, my second answer was going to be magic. And it was going to be the mind magic. I don't think we need all of this actual magic.
Yes, that's fair. But the
mind
magic
control is what we need.
Oh, God. I was just going to say, because the potential for the mind magic to go so wrong so quick, I do hate.
Yeah.
So, as a caveat, as long as people are learning to shield their minds when they want to,
Right.
would love to have the mind magic.
It would be like shielding mind 101 in high school.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. No, do you feel like if they're celebrating holidays in Alagaësia, do you feel like it is ever like an inclusive celebration? Do you feel like the dwarves are inviting humans to Dwarven Christmas? Or like you said, the Urgals, almost certainly not. It would be like a feat to say you went to Urgal Solstice. Do you think do you think anybody's ever mixing and mingling? I feel like they're not, and I feel like it's sad.
Yeah, I think in the world as it is where we're at after the second book, it's very divided. You know, the elves have been hiding. The Urgals sound like they've been hiding. I don't really know what's going on with them, but they sound like they've been hiding. The dwarves clearly have been hiding in their mountains and on their mountains. And then even amongst humans, it seems like I get the vibe that the Surdans have been staying in their lane, kind of away, not doing anything to shake anything up, but also still holding.
I think they've had a lot happening.
Yeah.
They're dealing with that whole like crazy murder wizard emperor.
But even like, do you remember at the beginning of the first book, we had those traders come in and they were like, the government's not supposed to protect everybody. You know what I mean? It's not meant for everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's not the government's job. I think that Carvajal was so removed.
Yeah.
Right? And then we saw them go to like Yazawak.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed so removed.
Yes.
Then I just feels like everybody has been isolated, and then there's such tensions with everybody.
Well, and even after just a couple of generations where we are now, the humans are so isolated. Like most normal people we've met, like your basic imperial citizen thinks that dwarves, Urgals, elves are a myth. Like they're not even positive that those are real creatures in the world. Right. So yeah, I'd have to agree. It just struck me that
yeah, no,
that
it's
nobody
a
is
little
ever
dour.
crossing over, and that's really sad. I think it's interesting. Maybe it can get lost a little bit because we're so used to being with Eragon all the time.
Yeah.
And he is
a man of the
the
people.
link. Yeah. He's kind of the link between all of these cultures. And he does have a pass to walk through different societies and like engage with the different cultures. And like, hopefully, we talk about it on occasion, like hopefully he's the one who's set up to be able to bring people together. Yeah,
I also think that with Eragon, I mean, we've talked about this a little bit in the season. Even Eragon is even though he is, as much as he is everyone, I think even that is lonely because he is also the only dragon rider and separate from, because even his lived experience is going to be different because he has Saphira in his mind.
Yeah.
Like his soul is literally melded with another person's, which no one else can understand other than the dragon riders. Like I think we kind of saw this with Oramus. He was like, oh, okay, we got to get each other. And even Oramus seemed, at least the vibe I got, maybe this is me reading too much into it, was like we get each other. Like we're not the same, but we get each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I think he's even separate, even though he will be who you're talking about. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think even in that, even their guy who is of everybody or is shaping out to be that way. Unfortunately, it's also kind of removed.
It's lonely.
Yeah, kind of like a removed.
Inherent in that is some loneliness because you're not going to know
Yeah.
if you belong a little bit to everybody.
Yeah.
And on your shoulders rests the salvation of the world.
Yeah.
Like, where do you really belong? Who really gets you?
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
No
Could
one
agree.
knows what it's like.
Are we about to set a record for how many songs you can sing in one episode of the podcast?
Give me some alcohol and I'll keep doing it.
I have made a grave mistake.
Well, I like the gift idea. So if you could give me a gift with magic in this world,
Ooh.
Jax, what would you give me?
Shit.
It's got to be amazing. Blow me away.
Yes, sky's the limit. If
Yeah.
you had no
You
checks.
have magic.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, me, a very good gift giver. Okay, I think
Uh-huh.
we are currently sitting, I'm going to draw some inspiration from my surroundings.
All right.
We're sitting in your D&D room.
Yes.
And I think if I could do anything, I would do some solid recon.
Uh-huh.
And this would be like decades, generational recon.
Oh, wow.
Because I would want to dig back through every D&D character you've played.
Okay.
I would want to get their character sheets, their abilities, like read their backstories, actually study up on your characters
Okay.
and create like animated walking, talking miniatures of your D&D characters that you could like keep and hang out with and like, I mean, not hang out, but
No,
like use
I do
or
love
like,
the idea that I'm hanging out with these like little people.
yeah, sorry, interact with, I guess is what I meant by that. Like you could,
These are my friends.
yeah, if you wanted to like use them for whoever you're playing, like you could
I love this.
actually like be able to interact with them, have them like
Oh.
walk around, have them perfectly envisioned, have all of their shit with them, and like cast some sort of a spell that's connected to and draws from your energy. Because I don't want to be constantly drained by this gift.
Okay.
You know, there are
Yeah.
limits on my generosity. No, I would want to have it connected to your energy and your consciousness so that as you thought of new additions to these characters and like they leveled up and you progress their stories, like they would change.
That's really cool. I like that. That's a
Okay.
great gift. I want that.
Fucking
now.
crushed it. And it's a gift I could keep up forever.
Yeah.
Because you're going to keep playing D&D.
It never ends.
And every time you get a new character, I'm like, thank God.
Well, even the one
I
I'm
know
playing.
what I'm going to get Dane for Christmas.
Well, even the one I'm playing will always change.
Yes.
That's amazing. What a great gift.
Crushed it. Same question, Dane.
Oh, no. I did not prepare for this. No, I think you are someone who likes to stay at home.
Hell yeah. That's correct.
And I think you like to, I think it would be all framed around that. So I think candles that never stop burning
Oh, yeah.
and a garden with like seeds that grow 3 times as easy with 3 times less work.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like you don't have to water them as much, but they still grow bigger than anything else you've
Oh,
had.
yes.
And then I also think it'd be cool. I don't know if you could do this in this world though. I think I'm getting to like, I don't even know if you could do this here.
Make it work. Professor Deep Dive. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
I think you could do it. The magic system's hard.
I think it'd just be convenience.
Yes.
You know, the sharpening knives,
Hell yes.
the garden,
Yes.
the candles.
Yes.
I think everything would be like
Things that would allow me to like
more time.
lean into because I like the things I like.
Yeah.
I like them a lot and
Yeah.
I do too much research, but also fundamentally I'm very lazy. So like something like I think you're so spot on with like the gardening thing because I fucking love my garden. I like to be out there.
Yeah.
But also if it were like a little easier.
Yeah. And you do it so good. You were
Yes,
just
if
like,
I could
oh,
like skip a week in the garden and it still looked incredible,
great.
no better gift.
Yeah. I think that's probably
10 out
what
of
I'd
10.
do.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So it'd be, and that would be keep the gift that I could do that every year.
Yes.
I can be like, well,
Oh yeah, there'd always be something new.
yeah. You just have a plethora of magic items.
100%. I would say top 5 gifts I've ever gotten in my life. You and your wife for my birthday this year.
Yeah.
And I love your wife. She is one of my best friends on this planet.
Yeah.
But I know you were the impetus behind this gift. But you got me a year's worth of every month they send me a candle. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Yeah. I'm so
Every
glad.
single time. One is on its way right now. I
Oh,
just got the
that's
shipping email.
So nice. I'm so
yes,
glad.
I
So
think-
when you go home, you'll have another candle?
Yes, I think it'll be
I
there.
think that's happened twice when we've been recording.
I think you're right, actually.
Well, that's all I've got.
Okay.
What
No.
do you and your family like to do for the holidays?
Oh, okay. So I feel like my family kind of cycles through holiday traditions.
Okay.
You know, we're not like every year since I can remember we've done X thing or Y thing. Like
Yeah.
we'll have a good 3 to 5 years where we do the same thing
Yeah.
kind of with regularity. But then maybe to put a positive spin on it, we're like flexible. Like maybe
That's
somebody
nice.
new wants to host the next year, or somebody has to be with the in-laws the next year. And so we'll
Gotcha.
iterate, and we'll be at somebody else's house and we'll make that work.
You
that'll
adapt.
that'll be the new thing for a while. I do remember like some of my fondest childhood Christmas memories. What we kept going for a long time is that we'd go to my grandma's for a big Christmas Eve, and she always had like the decorations. I think why it sticks so permanently in my memory is because we'd always get to open all of our presents from grandma on Christmas Eve, which is fucking dope.
So cool.
When you're a kid, you're like, ooh, all like a big pile of presents early.
Like a day early.
Yes.
Like, heck yeah.
So for the past few years, I have made it a point to get everyone together at my grandma's house because we did that for so long. So when I cook the big holiday meal, I do it at her house on Christmas Eve, and I do the prime
that's
rib and all
nice.
of that, and everybody comes. So I feel like they've been setting aside time for that for a long time. So I'm going to do that this year. And then aside from that, for the last 10 years that I've been with my boyfriend, it's been the game everybody knows, splitting time, trying to be equitable between the families, like trying to do the thing, make everybody feel good. And on his side, his family always does a white elephant exchange. I think some people call it like dirty Santa.
Ooh.
That
sounds like a very different game.
I know it does. Your family does white elephant.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think in different regions, I think it's a California thing, maybe white elephant.
Oh, really?
They call it dirty Santa other places.
Oh, really?
I think. My boyfriend's family does a white elephant gift exchange. They usually try to do it like mid-December, a little early so that everyone can come, which I'm also like, the pragmatism, the efficiency.
Yeah.
I love that. And they do this big, like, goofy gag gift exchange party. Their whole big family gets together.
Yeah.
They do this huge taco bar and like...
That sounds fun.
Yes. So for 10 years, haven't missed it once. Like, I love that tradition with his family.
Is that the only gifts they give each other?
No. They do
Okay.
like regular gifts on
See,
Christmas.
I would not like white elephant if that was just
If that was it.
the gift.
No. They've done Secret Santa a couple times. Like sometimes they'll exchange Secret Santa names at White
I like
Elephant
that.
Party.
Secret Santa's dope.
Yeah, but their White Elephant Exchange, they call it Taco Party. It's just like quintessential California Christmas vibes. And I love doing that with them.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. What about you?
I would say, like, honestly, the most, like, consistent tradition I have is very personal. Like, it's very, like, singular. For whatever reason, when I was a kid, I started watching, like, I always had a TV in my bedroom. So, first off, this isn't the same as a lot of people, but, like, at least for me, I had, like, a TV and an Xbox for as long as I can remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always watched Charlie Brown.
Or like a TV and a DVD player.
Yeah, or a
VHS.
DVD player. Or you know that TV.
I was like, you're old as hell. You have not always had an Xbox.
Yeah, you know that TV with the DVD player?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's just like a brick, like a square block.
Square block. And it was like 20 inches maybe, or like 12 inches.
Or that were like a square block, a cube.
A cube.
There's just a word for that.
Yeah. I've always watched Charlie Brown Christmas on Christmas Eve.
Oh.
It's always been alone. The last few years have been with my wife, obviously. But like as far back as I can remember, I know that's not true of like my whole life, but it's got to have started 9, 10.
That's so on brand for you.
Yeah.
Also, just like having a thing. If everything else is changing, like even little kid Dane was like, it is important for me to have something myself that I like honor and observe. This is my thing.
Yeah.
I love it. It means Christmas to me, like having a personal
moment
tradition like that.
I guess other than that, I'm a dad.
Yes.
So we do, for the last 5 years, we do like a chocolate elven like advent calendar.
Oh.
I do like an actual this year. He gets it's been a Lego advent
you
calendar.
You are big in the advent calendar business.
Yeah, I like December to feel special. So like he loves that. We do like Elf on a Shelf, which I have to say I half like because he loves it. Like he is obsessed with it. But I do. It is like it's not even a lot of work. I just forget about the fucking thing a lot. And then it 2 days ago, this is real. Like we're doing this. What's the date? It's December 10th.
Yes.
2 days ago, we forgot to move Keycar. Again, also my kid named our elf Keycar. Yeah. But 2 days ago, we forgot to move him, and then my son looked at it and was like, "Huh." And my wife, who was amazing, was like, "Why do you think he didn't move?" And he was like, I just think he likes being with all of his friends. And he was just like on our like skull wall. My house has a skull wall where there's just a wall of skulls.
Yeah, gotta have one.
Of course, everyone has that. And Keycard was sitting on one. So he was just like, oh, he just loves being with all of his friends. And I was like,
I also love, it's so on brand for your child to be like, now what does this mean for the lore of Keycard? What about the deep lore of my elf on the shelf?
Or like one morning, I just threw it down the stairs. Like I knew I hadn't moved it. She was getting him, and I just took that fucking elf and I threw him downstairs. And then we were looking for him everywhere, and I was just like, he must be really good, like really well hidden. And then when he came back from school, I was like, let's look for him. And then I was like, he was well hidden.
So smart.
So I'm lying to my son.
Well, that's
but,
what Christmas, isn't that the meaning of Christmas? No? Did I miss that somewhere? I would also just like to state for the record, you have done some truly inventive elves on the shelves. What's the plural of elf on a shelf? Elves on the shelf? Elf on the shelves?
Elf on the shelves.
Elf on the shelves.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, you have definitely done some like over the top inventive ones in your time.
Well, I don't know. I have fun doing, like you said, I like giving gifts. So I have fun doing this.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like for me, some of that's fun. But even still.
It's like, how many years are you going to keep up 24 over the top? That just is.
It's just
absurd.
I'm setting a bar that I'm ultimately going to let my son down on. This will be a therapy appointment sometime.
No.
I used to love Christmas.
I guess all I'm trying to say is, from what I know about you, your elf on the shelf reflects balance. And I don't like that all you talked about on the podcast so far is the days you threw it down the stairs and forgot to move
I do nail it sometimes.
Yes.
But other than that, I mean, we just have a small Christmas. I mean, we just have like a small Christmas. We hang out on Christmas. I'm a big, like stocking guy, but I'm having a kid is different. I just love his whole thing.
Yes.
I spend time with my in-laws.
Yeah.
We all hang out. It's very nice, very small. It's very quaint.
Yeah. I feel like the older I get, the progressively like lower key my holidays are getting. I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah, me too.
Do you feel like there are any holiday traditions you've like consciously weeded out of your lineup over the years, or just something generally you feel like is overrated? I do have something in mind if you want.
Okay. Well, I think
a minute.
I actually think I think mine is more broad.
Yeah.
I feel like there's this idea that if you don't go to a bunch of like holiday parties and you're not going to like the light show and you don't go to the Christmas market and you don't, I do feel like there's some people who are like, we didn't do anything. Like we just, it was, I just feel like that is kind of, Charlie Brown has taught me that like materialism has really gotten in the way. But I also think like there's this idea that you have to be doing like festive things all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that pressure sometimes leads people to like throw parties they don't want to.
Yes.
Go to parties they don't want to, right? The double-edged sort of that.
Or even just like in the name of tradition to do things year over year that stop
being fun
at some point.
Or things changed.
And you feel like you can't stop doing them.
Yes. You're like, oh, we have to play the Christmas football game. You know what I mean?
Even though we're all 35 and everything hurts.
Yes, exactly. and maybe Roger gets a little too competitive. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that continues, and a lot of people have something like that, or they feel some type of pressure, or like they didn't live up to some type of pressure, where I feel like
ends up setting a bar that's impossible to hit.
Yes.
Which makes people sadder.
Yeah, which I feel like as long as you're with your friends, as long as you're with your loved ones, you do something that's nice. Like,
or as long as you do things that make you happy.
Yeah, that's
and
better.
Feel seasonal to you.
Yeah, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think that's a good
that would be my thing. I think people overrate the events you must do. Like that functions, I guess.
Yes, I feel like this is not a newer hot take, but I feel like the crystallization of that, like the first thing that came to mind for me that feels very of that idea, of that philosophy, is just New Year's Eve generally.
I 100% agree.
It just is like so overrated.
But do you
Even
think that's an
still,
age thing?
Yes,
do you think suddenly
well,
we
no,
just,
because I don't think I was having fun at New Year's Eves in my 20s either. Like I didn't like it.
Speak for yourself.
And that's fair. I mean, I went out and did stuff, but like I didn't like it then. Not that I don't like it. I actually really like New Year's Eve as a holiday.
Yeah, and you stay up till midnight every night. So for me, it's like an event. I'm like, I'm going to be up 2 hours later tonight.
That's true. I am a night owl, but I think for me, like my best New Year's Eves are like hanging out, just my boyfriend and I, and like just being reflective about our year behind, about the year ahead, you know, having some like real.
Yeah, I think I've spent
some,
several
like,
New Year's Eves with you and we just didn't do anything.
Yes, that's correct. But just having some like real talk. I like any excuse to be reflective. I kind of do the same thing on like our anniversaries or like birthdays. We kind of do this.
Yeah.
Just like taking stock, taking inventory. So
A
I feel like,
retrospective.
yes, I feel like New Year's Eve is fun to do that with people like you love and feel like you can be open with, and like you can really get into some like interesting connective moments. But even now I'm like, well, we could do that, but also should we go to the 4-course prefix dinner at one restaurant early in the night? And I'm like, no, we shouldn't do that. We don't have to do that.
Yeah.
That's
I think people struggle with this.
Yes. Like even the last couple of years I've made reservations, and as soon as I'm there I'm like, this is fine, but I don't know why I'm here. We could have done this at home.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I think I've not made New Year's Eve plans yet this year. Maybe everybody tune in to our January episodes. Find out.
Do we do a late night New Year's? Well, I guess we'll see how this is.
No. Just find out if I broke every principle I stated just now and made New Year's Eve plans.
Yes.
I might not. But I think before we have any more of these cozy holiday drinks,
yes, mine is empty.
Becoming,
I need more.
No. I think that is becoming a problem. Before this goes any further off the rails, I think we should wrap this up and maybe let people know like what's on the schedule for the pod through the end of this year, like into the rest of the Eragon series.
Yeah, this little special will be followed by an episode covering a holiday book we read to take a little vacation from the world of Eragon.
Yes.
We read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, and the episode on it will be out in 2 days.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun, and it's a cozy book about witches.
The best.
For sure, it's not my normal thing, but I enjoyed it way more than I thought I would, and it was fun to try something a little different. So join us for that. Let us know if you liked it and if you want us to do more of these one-off book kind of forays. We love your emails and want to know if you have any other suggestions for us.
Yes. We had a lot of fun reading this little book.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit of a departure for both of us, but both of us reading the book were like, damn, that was so nice.
I had a lot of
Genuinely
fun.
loved it.
Yeah.
But as for the inheritance cycle, we will be back the first week of January to start our season on book 3, Brissinger. And I think I can.
Brissinger!
I know. I'm like, I have to really cure that vocal tick before we start that season. Because every time I see that word or think about it in my head, it comes out, Brissinger. But for now, I think I can confirm that after we finish book 4, so after Brissinger and after Inheritance, we're also going to record episodes to cover both The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm, the like book of short stories set in Alagaësia, and Murtag, the newer, just came out a month ago.
Yeah.
Book 5 in the Inheritance cycle. So we're going to do seasons on both of those. We are compulsive completionists here at Is This Just Fantasy Pod?
Yeah.
So we can't wait to pick apart every inch of the Inheritance cycle before we, I don't know, move on to whatever's next.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good time.
So, like Dane said, write us some emails. Let us know.
We need to know
whatever's next.
We got a plan for it now, I think.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to rate and review, especially on Apple Podcasts, support on Patreon, and check out our social media at Is This Just Fantasy Pod on TikTok or at Just Fantasy Pod on Instagram. If you have any questions or just want to write to us about the podcast, we'd love to hear from you. And you can email us at isthisjustfantasypod@gmail.com.
Just fantasy. We're just two nerds and we love our fantasy. Come on and listen to us next time. Find out what our deep dive will be. Thanks for catching our show.
Hello there, my little shuriken. Can you not sleep tonight? Come here, boy. Come here. Join me by this roaring fire. Did you get the gingerbread man I left you? Merry Christmas. It was harder than I thought it would. We cover that boy in ginger, but anything for you, my sweet, sweet shuriken. Oh, relax. Shh. Tonight, as a flame dance and crackle, casting a dark, ominous glow, we're going to share something quite extraordinary. Yes, I Galbatorix, the God King, can appreciate the magic of Christmas, so gather close, sweet, sweet, insane friend, as the night deepens and the stars burn like the infernos above. I shall read a wonderful Christmas story, a tale to ignite the imagination and freeze the soul. Come. 'Twas the night before conquest, when all through my realm not a creature dare stirred under my overwhelm. The chains were hung and the dungeons with despair, in fear that my wrath soon would be there. The prisoners were shackled, all tense in their cells, while visions of freedom were quashed under spells. And did I, in my armor, my dragon, his scale, that's you, Shuriken, had just settled our minds for a malevolent tale. When out of the land there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my throne to see what the hell was the matter. Away to my hell grind I flew in sinister sight, flung open the portals, and gazed into the night. The moon on the breast of the dead barren snow, I gave luster of midnight to my humble subjects below. When, what to my evil eyes should appear, but a squadron of Varden, the legions quaking in fear. With a baby for a rider, so stupid and sick. Fucking Eragon, I hate that guy. I knew in a moment I'd have to fight quick. I'm more rapid than vultures. My orders did come. I hissed and I shouted and I commanded. How fun. Now boogies, now shades, now black hand and Urgal, on guardsmen, on armies, on conscripts and rabble, to the top of the keep, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away to the ball. And then with a scream of terror, they vanish from sight. Dreadful conquest to all. And to all, a dark night, you sweet princess.